know. Smudgy just won't. Oh, she would not shush up today. I'm out of crunchy treats, and she does not approve. I'm getting you salmon in a minute. I have to talk to these people first. Hello. It's a glorious Saturday morning. She's glaring at me. Ooh, she's whipping her tail around, and there's Raspy. The natives are restless. Hey, do you garden? Do you have a little plot? Do you have, even in an apartment? Tell you what, how about letting a little plot go wild? Now, if you're in an apartment complex, you would need to talk to them about that. But I've got to go plant a milkweed plant today. So I'm hoping I can host butterflies to put their eggs on it. But wildflowers, just let a little section go wild. There's a little section right behind the side of my balcony, under my kitchen window, and there's nothing there. There's just the gutter falls right into there, the water, the rain gutter, and it just floods sometimes. It's just mud and stuff like that. And I have thrown seeds back there, let the weeds grow back there. So I'm gonna plant the butterfly. It's not the butterfly; it's a milkweed plant. The butterfly bush is what they eat, and the milkweed is what they lay their eggs on and become butterflies on. And that's the only thing that they do it on. That's why they're diminishing, because that's the only thing when they come out of the chrysalis. That's the only thing that people can eat is the milkweed. So that's their diet. So if they consider it a weed, and everybody wants these manicured lawns that look oh so perfect, life isn't perfect, and we should stop with the perfect image. How many decades of damage of this perfect American image? It's a fallacy, and it always has been. Nothing is perfect. Rule 1 in life. Life 101. Nothing is perfect. No one is perfect. So why do we keep trying to attain perfection? How about just trying to obtain and be the best we can? The best version of us. Why do we always have to be our goal for perfection when we know that's impossible? Start leaving some little space wild. The story I told you is because that area, I'm putting the milkweed plant right in front of that, because it has to have full sun, so I can't set it back, and I don't want it too close to the wall because it is a bush. But I also know that it's going to attract bees and stuff, and I don't want it like right next to where kids walk past and people. But even in an apartment, there's areas maybe you yourself can't, but if you see a little area in your complex that just is a little thing, and it always has to get mowed, but it doesn't do much. It's just a sign on that little triangle or something like that. Ask them, hey, why don't we throw some wildflower seeds out there and just let them grow every year? Just, people will leave the sign alone too, because there'll be bugs on it, bees and stuff like that. Why don't we do that with some of the areas here? Make them a wildflower where you don't mow them, and you just, I'll be willing to buy some bunch of wildflower seed in bulk and just scatter them one spring, and let them go from there, because they seed themselves, reseed every year. Could we do that? Think out of the box, guys. One thing that Democrats, I have noticed, tend to stay in the safe space. Guess what, Democrats, progressives, and liberals? It's time to Think out of the box. Finally. Whew. And there's a few legitimate reasons, not just politically, to think out of the box, progressive people, but obviously, like we just talked about, for native and natural things, and preserving and helping the earth heal itself by not continuing to fuck it up. She can only heal herself so fast. If she's trying to heal herself while we're continuing to fuck her up more, excuse me, that's basic knowledge of cause and effect shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you own your own property, give a little peace to nature. You know, one of the things the native tribes did, the native people, was always set aside a portion for the wildlife, for somebody that's hungry and needs some food to pick it, you know. You always plant more than you're going to need. You assess for natural, not all things are going to survive, germination, or even after germination, not all of them live. But also assess and plant enough where wildlife can eat it without you freaking out. That's my food, or my family's food for the winter, type of thing. Plant extra and allow some to not be made for use for you. That's living with others peacefully. And in turn, they have some crops, they poop, they fertilize for you for better crops the following season. You see what that circle like can look like here, people. Even a simple thing is just throwing a little section of a place for wildflowers, just native grass, whatever is going. Because grasses, if you don't cut it, you know they send up like the stalk with the seed, and they self-seed. You know that, right? So you don't have to keep buying lawn seed and reseeding areas that aren't getting watered or whatever. You see what I'm saying? If you let the shit seed naturally, and you, oh, it looks so uncomfortable. That's because we've gotten everybody so used to that, even in movies from America, you know, that little picket fence and the nice trimmed grass is always that perfect length. And well, we know that's not true. The Hollywood really sold it. Man, they did a good job, because it still is in people's, minds. It has to have that perfect thing to show that we're happy and we've made it. Oh my God, enough with that. Enough with that. You know what shows that you're a successful person? That other people can say nice things about you and not have to think first. Somebody says, tell me some things that you admired about so-and-so. Oh, well, so-and-so. That's the way it should be. It'd be like, well, there's a few things, but as opposed to, tell me some positive things about so-and-so. And you're like, well, there was this time. You see the difference there? Being a friend to this earth is letting some of the natural wildflowers just be on a section of your plot. And instead of like putting it as, oh, well, I'm just going to tuck this away and we won't see that because it's not all perfectly green and, there's no irrigation. So it's just watered by nature type of, so it's not always looking great. So we're just going to put that in no. Put that front and center. Put up a little garden flag that says, nature belongs in nature, something like that, to let people know, no, 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 this isn't me being lazy. This is me deliberately making sure that our pollinators, without which we would die eventually, because crops wouldn't be propagated without them, without the bees and the birds and the butterflies and the bats. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So next time you're swatting that bee, or not giving a damn that a bird is got wire stuck around his leg or balloon string, whatever, not my problem, not my party. Maybe think of that, and instead of trying to tuck those things away, we need to bring those things out in the front. So HOAs and such like that see that it is the more American thing. If you want to get to, it's American. It is American. The American way to help nature and nurture nature. It's the American way to nurture nature. Nurturing nature, it's only American. Make it into something that people can latch onto, because right now a lot of people look at it and go, they're too lazy to mow, so they just call it nature. No, nature actually really needs more of that now. We've gone into propagated, perfection for far too long. And other countries even expect that from America. And they're disillusioned when they find we're not those perfect examples. Because nobody is. So give the pollinators a break and give them a little tiny fucking slice of your area. You might actually like the beautiful little tiny native flowers that bloom. You might actually find them charming. Teaches you that there's beauty in even tiny things. But you need to be willing to look for them. And are you willing to nurture it for your children and your grandchildren? Because there's already animals that we knew and saw live as we grew up, but some of them your kids will never see except in a picture or a video, because they're not in existence anymore, because we perfect everything out of existence in nature, because nature isn't perfect. It's a glorious, imperfect kaleidoscope of beauty and horror. And you can't just look at the one and exclude the other forever. Eventually, it makes itself known. And the earth is making itself known that it has not been treated according to its needs. And it's not because we don't know what the earth needs to keep renewing herself. Well, we know. There's just some very greedy, selfish. Good morning, Raspy. People and narcissistic that just want what they want and fuck everyone else. We the people need to take this earth back. Back from all the governments that have become where America's going, is at. And that includes the Palestine, the people in charge, Hamas, and Netanyahu, and Trump, Putin, Xi, all of these people. that are making decisions what happens to this planet when they're a small fraction of who is on this planet. Tell me there's not something wrong with that. Really wrong with that. The same people who claim to be, oh, so religious. Do you think God is happy with what you're doing to his earth? Honestly, methinks not. So, plant some wildflowers. Let a spot in your garden go to the pollinators. And don't hide it. Revel in it. Make a sign announcing its arrival. It's the only way we're going to save Earth, people. If we all start giving a holy fuck about it. And stop expecting the jackasses in charge, those who are the jackasses, to suddenly see the light. The only light they'll see is if it's shining on money. You need to do it. If everybody just took a little, even a 5 or 10 foot area, and did that, it would make a very big difference. It would be a highway of food and a highway of egg-laying opportunities for those little insects that actually are the start of the food chains. If they didn't pollinate the crops, everything would cease. All living beings would cease. So, think about that next time you go past somebody's little wildflower spot and think, oh, they're just being lazy. They just don't want to mow their front yard. So they make that. No, not at all. And maybe you should be doing the same. I am. And I live in a garden apartment. So, you can too. How about some potted plants that are just wildflower mix? You don't even have to dig into the ground. What are these apartments going to say? You only can have certain types of flowers? No. Think outside the box. Wildflowers doesn't mean, well, I don't have a patch of land, I'm in an apartment. Do you have a doorstep that you can put a potted plant on? Then, yes, they do have wildflowers mixes. And geared to your zone in the country. There is no excuse that everybody can't even grow just a flower pot. Even if everybody just had a flower pot of wildflowers, it would probably double what they've got now. Think about it.